What up, it's Casper. Today's video I'm gonna be talking about a cool rewatch, and I'm talking about the Expendables. Expendables is a 2010 movie. It's rated R and it's an hour and 43 minutes. Directed by Sylvester Stallone, so very interesting to catch up on another Stallone director role. It's starred by Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren. Very crazy to know that Dolph Lundgren was in Rocky 4 and he was the one that was Drago in the movie. It's very insane to know that he was involved with this movie, and that just shows that Stallone actually keeps a lot of his peoples involved with his movies. Also starred by Eric Roberts, Randy Couture, Steve Austin's in here, Giselle, Itié. I'm sorry, I don't even know how to say the last name. There's other actors in here, but overall those are the main actors. First time experience watching this movie was actually when it came out in movie theaters. I saw it when it first came out. From the first feeling of watching this movie that I can remember is actually the crazy action scenes. Let's start off with Stallone. The acting was cool. The lines were actually okay, and I would say there was a lot of scenes in here where he's running looked very stiff. Gotta give props to Stallone because he was dealing with a lot of injuries during this whole Expendables project. From what I know, he actually dealt with like maybe a couple broken bones while filming. The looks of it, you could see it. He just looked very stiff. The lines were cool, but I would just say the presentation from all the action stuff with Stallone fit very well. He does have that general look of just going straight mob, army, force, undercover, militia, kind of like Call of Duty swag, and he's like that leader. Stallone's vibe and the whole look fit very well. I like the costume design that they did. I like the locations for everything. Stallone did a good job in here and seeing this. The action scenes of him getting involved. He did have a stunt double. He did bring it, and it didn't look too off, too lackluster. And the lines with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the lines with everyone else, Bruce Willis and everyone involved, I would say that it felt very connected, like they knew each other, so they just had fun with it. That's the vibe I got from Stallone. My favorite actor that I thought had that cool vibe was Jason Statham. His whole demeanor and his whole look has that undercover look. Plays the character Lee Christmas, brought more of that added Call of Duty feel. His lines were good. His presentations was really dope, and his action scenes looked more legit, and when he was running in the movie it looked pretty dope. So shout out to the camera direction on trying to make everyone look crispy. Very interesting to see that Stallone was the director, and from the feel of him directing was like he was trying to experiment with a lot of angles, and he did do what he had to do with the angles. Like him in the plane, you could see a lot of scenery shots, and then the action scenes, there's a little bit shaky cam on the action scenes. I wish they was expand out, but I'm guessing because there were stunt doubles, that's why he went with those crazy fast cutscenes on the action scenes. But I feel like he was trying to show really cool scenery shots, and the direction was definitely planted because there's way more. There's Expendables 2 and 3, and then 4 is coming out. But starting this off, I would say it was a good way to start off the Expendables vision. So Stallone's directing, it was pretty good. I could see that it was like something that he wanted to experiment with, and he's testing a lot of angles. So there is creative shots in here. I feel like towards the end, that's where he went full on. They knew what camera direction they wanted to go for. Save the best for last. Jet Li plays the character Yin Yang. His character was dope too. His lines were pretty funny. Did have a whole choreography team for all these fight scenes. It was pretty dope to have his style involved with the movies. That style is clean, crispy, and gives me really cool, dope vibes with that. Cool to see Dolph Lundgren play the character Gunner. It felt like a recap, like, hey, I also did this one as well. So it was cool. His character was dope. Supposed to get killed off, but the character got brought back for Expendables 2, so we're gonna catch up on the second one soon. I'll say the evil villains in here were pretty believable. It wasn't too off. Like I said, it felt like a cool introduction to the Expendables. So Eric Roberts plays James Monroe. The vibe was okay. He had that look of being just corrupt. I would say they went more for the look rather than the whole demeanors, because the look fit. I wish there was just more demeanor stuff. Steve Austin, there's wrestling moves involved with his action scenes, and playing the character Pain fit very well, and all the bad characters as well, had that cool vibe to them, and the look fit that character role. So I want to say the acting was too terrible because the camera time on a lot of these people were very short. It was mostly focused on Stallone, Statham, and then Mickey Rourke is in the movie too, so it was focused on him as well. So it was cool to see those people, but camera angles on a lot of the villains were very quick. they were believable. A lot of CGI, you can see a lot of the green screen as well, but it wasn't a bother because, like I said, from this movie it just felt like they're just gonna get better. But the action scenes and the kills are actually worth it. Overall, the action scenes were sick, they were quick, and they got better throughout the movie. Sceneries were dope. The music score in the back, I would say it fit pretty dope. It wasn't a bother as well. Giselle plays Sandra. Cool to involve her in the movie because it just added a little bit more feel, but I'm just glad it didn't become like a lovey-dovey movie with her, and her character was believable. Expendables movie is about Stallone. The character Barney is actually the leader of this group called the Expendables. They're mercenaries. Story is for Stallone's team, Barney's team, the Expendables, to get this Latin dictator and the corrupt CIA agent and take them down. So that's what the whole movie is about, and throughout that whole process, Barney and the Expendables team are going through their own personal journeys together while they're going through it with themselves, if that makes sense. Definitely on an adventure with all these people. You're seeing a lot of the personal life that they deal with. Like I said, Mickey Rourke's in the movie as well, and he gives out some pretty cool lines in here, and his presentation was really good. Terry Crews is in the movie too, so Terry Crews, for what he had, was pretty funny. I like how he had the shotgun. Good job on the casting, to be honest. They actually knew who they wanted, and very interesting to know the background that there's going to be some crazy people involved with this movie. Wesley Snipes was also a consideration for this movie. It was a good rewatch, and I enjoyed the action scenes, and I enjoyed where all the actors were at that time. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in this movie, and they had some lines of him being like in politics, and that was during the time he was trying to be president. You could see where that time was with the lines. Very cool. I enjoyed it. Expendables, the first one out of 10, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. So that's my review for the movie The Expendables. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.